Hello, everybody. I'm back. I have another idea to share with you all, and it has in the realm of um, literary theolotics, which is a theological political system that I've kind of been working on for quite some time now about the differentiation between literary escapism and literary terrorism. So I'm going to be discussing those two ideas today. And how they relate to postmodernism. So, in my opinion, postmodernism is a cop out. People like it. It's cool, I guess. I'm kind of indifferent. Most people I've met who I've talked to pretty much are indifferent to the idea of postmodernism. A lot of maximalist novels of the 21st century have stories to them. They have an overarching narrative and a message and themes. Doesn't really make sense. But escapism is like a term people use to describe escaping into literature or escaping out of their reality, right? So when I say escapism, I'm not talking about the colloquial escapism. I'm talking about the transformation of what is into what should and could be. So the transformation of stagnation into the fantasy of the dream. Okay? So there's two realms of literature that I've differentiated from what I've seen in today's market, let's say. If we're going to call it a market, I guess, if we want to use the culture industry terms from Theodore Adorno. But the culture industry, yeah, that's a crazy one, anyways. Escapism is that which is traded in for that which could and should be. Now, it's escaping from the truth through the dream, whereas literary terrorism is the mongering of truth through the dream. So what I mean by this is David Foster Wallace has a quote where he says, I think he might have quoted it from somebody else, but he says, fiction is not meant to comfort the disturbed, it's meant to disturb the comfortable. And I think that pretty much sums up what this theory states, and that's that literary terrorism is meant to disturb the comfortable, and literary escapism is meant to comfort the disturbed. So that's a very succinct way of putting it. I think that there should be a cultural phenomenon that organizes literature into these two categories, and like let's say each decade has a election for one author to win if they get through a voting system, maybe. This is hypothetical. It's underdeveloped as well, so we'll see how it turns out when I flesh it through. But the point is that my interest in this is unyielding, and I'm not sure whether or not it's got grounds in tangible reality or it's simply a political or a partisan literary movement. a bipartisan literary movement. I want to have authors make a choice whether they support a certain ideology, rather than just being thrown into whatever academics agree on. So I think each decade should have an election for an author where they inevitably decide after winning whether they choose escapism or terrorism as their, let's say, party to promote education in that direction through governmental programs. So that's the literary theological politics that I suggest in my essay, Human Denial. Thank you guys.